Application to wrap NFT with Protocol version 0. Connect metamask to the application. The list of wrapped NFT of the ERC 721 standard wrapped with the Protocol version 0 is loaded on the dashboard, as well as all original NFTs of the ERC 721 standard. There are 3 ways to wrap NFT in the application. To mint original NFT with default metadata and wrap, utilize the existing NFT from the section Your Discovered NFTs and press the wrap button for this NFT. Specify the address of the smart contract of the original NFT and token ID in Wrap NFT section. Let's do the wrapping with the first way. Mint original NFT with default metadata and wrap it. Confirm minting transaction in MetaMask. The original NFT is minted and the page with the settings to wrap this NFT appeared. Specify the size of the native collateral to be added into wrapped NFT. Specify the ERC20 token as the transfer fee and its amount. This commission is paid by the senders of the wrapped NFT. The commission token is available from the list. Specify the percentage of royalty that the beneficiary receives from each transfer. Specify the royalty beneficiary. Specify the limit for the accumulated commission. In this case, 90% of the commissions are to be added to the dynamic collateral of wrapped NFT from each transfer. Once the accumulated commissions reach 10 tokens, wrapped NFT can be unwrapped. Specify time lock in days. Once the time lock of 3 days expires and the limit for the accumulated commission is reached, then the wrapped NFT can be unwrapped. Start wrapping process. Confirm the transaction in MetaMask. Token with ID 71 is created. Token with ID 71 appears on the dashboard in the application. Add collateral in the form of ERC20 tokens. Select a token from the list. A token cannot be specified in the form without adding it to the whitelist of protocol tokens. Specify the number of tokens in the collateral. Confirm the transaction in MetaMask. Check wrapped NFT has collateral with 5 NFT tokens. Let's transfer wrapped NFT to another address. Confirm the transaction by issuing permission to use tokens to pay the transfer fee. Confirm the transfer transaction in the MetaMask. Wrapped NFT does not appear on the dashboard of the original owner. Let's check how wrapped NFT appears on the recipient's dashboard. Accumulation commission for displays in wrapped NFT as well. Let's do wrapping in a second way. Select the unwrapped NFT on the dashboard in the Your Discovered NFTs section. Press the wrap button there. Do not fill in anything on the opening page. Just wrap it. Confirm transaction in MetaMask. Wrapped NFT with ID 72 is created. There is a copy link action in the three dots menu of each wrapped NFT. This link opens wrapped NFT in the view mode. There is an operation to give a permission to a third party to manage all the protocol contract tokens of the owner in the three dots menu. Let's specify the address, confirm the operation. Metamask warns us that the operation gives the right to manage all the tokens of this contract that the user owns. Let's review the transaction. Unwrap wrapped NFT. Page to view wrapped NFT is open. There are no logs to unwrap this wrapped NFT. Confirm the transaction in MetaMask. There is no longer wrapped NFT with ID 72 on the dashboard. Unwrapped original NFT appears on the dashboard after the unwrapping process. Let's do the wrapping in the third way. Copy the smart contract address of the non-wrapped original NFT and its token ID. Insert the data in the Wrap NFT section. Click Wrap. The page with settings for Wrap NFT opens. Let's set a commission for the transfer of 10 NFT tokens. Confirm the operation. Confirm the transaction in MetaMask. Wrapped NFT with ID 73 is created. Let's transfer it to another user address. Specify the address. Give the permission to pay the transfer fee with owned and NFT tokens. Confirm the transaction in MetaMask. Confirm the transfer operation. Confirm the transaction in the MetaMask. Let's check how wrapped NFT looks after the transfer to another address. All transfer fees are inside wrapped NFT because distribution of royalties has not been. Unwrap wrapped NFT. Confirm the operation. Confirm the transaction in the metamask. Let's review the transaction. The sender of the transaction received 10 NFT tokens from the protocol, the commission accumulated in the wrapped NFT. Unwrapped original NFT appears on the dashboard after the unwrapping process.